of course, our special guests, Carmel Bird and Gabrielle Lord, who's just here as well. All of the authors that are here. The Spineless Wonders team who brought these books out for us tonight. The Spineless Wonders interns, and the cover designer who's come all the way from Melbourne, Elise Chen. So thank you all very much for coming.
Now, once upon a time, in the age of social media, a woman received an email from a stranger. Woman A received the email from woman B. B said to A, "Would you give me permission to name a short story competition after you?" Or words to that effect. Being a careless archivist, A failed to preserve the email from B. A said to B, "Okay." A is a carefree kind of person and had no idea where all this would lead. But you can see that these strangers knew how to talk to each other. I was A and Bronwyn was B. Now, that was how the Carmel Bird Short Story Award was first invented, you see. Tonight, I see it has already come a very long way. There's always a posthumous air to an award that is named. So consider me to be speaking to you from beyond the I congratulate all the winners of the award so far and all the writers whose work has been shortlisted. It's been a great pleasure to listen to the readings, and tonight's event is a most vigorous demonstration of the fact that Spineless Wonders, its tireless publisher Bronwyn and her indefatigable team, is leading the way in the short story in this country. I then have marked in my notes that I would like to pause to drink a toast to Bronwyn. Now I see we don't have glasses, but you could raise, you're capable of imagination, you can raise your imaginary glasses and drink a toast. A toast to Bronwyn. I have so enjoyed listening to the stories that the four people have read to us tonight. And it's a great pleasure for me to be at last meeting Walter, because we have had correspondence. How long ago was that? When I published, no, it was not so long ago, maybe two, published an essay, a wonderful essay by Walter in the Griffith Review. The most recent winner, of course, of the Carmel Bird short story is Marjorie Lewis-Jones, who has visited us in a marvellously virtual and virtuous manner from far, far away. That was a most beautiful video, was it not? Yes. So, now, what's happened here is we've moved. Here we go. Marjorie's winning stories keep coming, of course, and she, as we have seen tonight, is certainly a writer to watch. My new book is the first in the Spineless Wonders Fiction Plus series. Plus what? Plus an essay, where the writer reflects on the writing of the stories. This reflective writing on writing is something I've been doing since the 1980s. Bronwyn saw the possibility of placing an emphasis on it for her readers by starting Fiction Plus. I'm keen to see how the series develops, and I believe it will make a very significant mark. Australian writing is actually known for short fiction from way, way back in the days of Barbara Bainton and Henry Lawson. The short story's always there, niggling away at the psyche, flashing out every so often with some amazing zigzag of an insight, as you have seen in the stories that were read tonight. And Spineless Wonders really is a leader in this field at the moment. Short fiction, short fiction, long short fiction, short back and sides. They do it. I'm very happy to be here, and I thank Bronwyn for her faith in my work and for publishing My Heart to Your Hearts. I thank Berkelouw Books. I can't say Berkelouw. How do you say it?
Berkelouw.
Berkelouw. Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Thank you very much. Berkelouw Books for welcoming us here tonight, and I thank you all for coming to celebrate short stories. I thank my dear friend, the Queen of Crime, for speaking so kindly about the book. And I acknowledge the Darug people who are the traditional custodians of the Sydney Basin. I'm going to read 2 extra short examples of the writing in the book, just the very beginning from 2 of the stories. The collection doesn't follow a central theme, and each story has its own, what I call, personality. First, I'll read from the story called He Painted Cupids on Soup Plates. This is the very beginning of that story. All lines of longitude converge at the poles. The South Pole is at 90 degrees south latitude. The island of Tasmania lies at 42 degrees south latitude and at 147 degrees east longitude. All things considered, this is not an ideal location for the smallish, heart-shaped piece of land known as Tasmania, named after the Dutch explorer who discovered it in 1642, the year the English Civil War began, the year Isaac Newton was born, the year Galileo died. It would have done well to have been islanded a few degrees further north, perhaps somewhere around 30 degrees, where it could bask in sunshine and perhaps grow breadfruit, who knows? These days, now that the 21st century is well and truly here, with the rise of sea level and the rise of temperatures, degradation of agricultural land, disappearance of species, and floods of people across the planet seeking refuge, it probably doesn't need to move after all. But there it was in 1955, drifting in the chill of the Southern Ocean. And that is where the story of the man who painted cupids on soup plates has its centre. Close by a town called Deloraine, which was named for Sir William Deloraine, a character in The Lay of the Last Minstrel by Sir Walter Scott. On the banks of the Meander River, which was possibly named after the Meander in County Mayo. It's the beginning of the story about the guy who painted cupids on soup plates. So that's the opening paragraph. And now I'll read something. This will show you the different personalities of the story. This one is from the beginning of Back to the Womb. Once upon a time, is this thing really working?
Yes.
Once upon a time, listen. First, how about a question? If you were a young woman of, say, 27, the optimum age, so I've been told, for conceiving, carrying, delivering a child, and there you were, facing the obstetrician and gynecologist across his desk, him in crisp blue shirt. You see him from a bit above the waist up, like a newsreader. Silver hair, twinkly, twinkly eyes. You in white linen jacket with amazing dark resin buttons, new short haircut, unimaginably long silver earrings. And he says something along the lines of, well, as you know, the past test indicated the absence of a uterus. That took the breath away. However, it is not all bad news. It could be possible for you to bear a child, providing we can access a suitable uterus suitable for implantation, what would you do? I see you're not quite comfortable. You're not the only one. That was the first bit of Back to the Work. A British writer I admire very much is Russell Hoban, who has said, "We make fiction because we are fiction." Sometimes when I think about writing, and I think about writing all the time, I try to imagine a divide between what is called fiction and what is called memoir. Yet I realise that both forms blur and resolve in the telling. And I return to Russell Hoban's words, "We make fiction because we are fiction." That is a statement of truth that might just go deeper than anybody wants to go. I now invite you to read on. You'll have to buy the book and read on. But what did I do with what I had? It was down there. Yes. Because I've got a little present for everybody. The little coloured bag.
The coloured bag.
Yeah. I think all the stuff's in there. So you can dip in here. Yeah, my heart to your heart. Pass it on.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. Congratulations, Carmel, on a really brilliant achievement, a book I love very much. Carmel's here signing the books tonight, so please grab a copy. Please look around, and please download the long, short stories. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank the authors. Thank you, Carmel. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you very much. Good evening.